When you first play Hollow Knight, you aren't given any instructions. You are simply dropped down a pit and are driven by your own curiosity to explore this new world you found yourself in. As you make your way through the tutorial area, you quickly pick up on the core mechanics of the game. One button to jump and interact, the other is to slash enemies with your nail. This sounds simple, but there's a lot more than originally meets the eye. By adding a well-timed slash to your jump, you can pogo off obstacles, and when you encounter your first enemy, you can jump behind them to dodge their attack and slash at their open back. Or, if you're really confident with your pogo technique, you can even attack them from above, jumping endlessly off their head until they die, so long as they don't have an upswing attack. These are the basic first moves you get in the game, but already you can see the thought and depth put into each and every mechanic. By now you've probably taken some damage and are wondering how you can get your health back. The game knows this and gives you the tutorial on focusing your soul. Soul is essentially mana, which can be stored in your mask by attacking enemies. At this stage of the game, your only real use for it is healing. Just find a safe spot and take some time to recover your health. After completing the tutorial, which I highly recommend you explore fully as there are secrets in every corner of this game, you'll come across the main hub area, Dirtmouth. This will be a safe haven where you can spend your currency on upgrades, but for now it's a ghost town with little to do. So you press forward into the first main area of the game, the Forgotten Crossroads. From here on out, the game will not hold your hand, and that can be a make or break for many players, including me, as in my first playthrough attempt back in 2018, I grew bored and frustrated with my perceived lack of progress and didn't touch Hollow Knight again for years, until finally, in 2023, I decided to give it another chance, and I'm glad I did, because it may well be one of my favourite games of all time. Like me on my first playthrough, you may find yourself lost and confused at the beginning of the game, but I implore you to stick with it, because Hollow Knight is a game that rewards your patience with one of the best experiences in gaming. While not the most exciting area of the game, Forgotten Crossroads is essentially a second tutorial for the game as a whole, as you are forced to explore every nook and cranny in order to find a way out, and in doing so, learn how the game is meant to be played. Here you'll discover your first stag station, the game's fast travel mechanic. You'll get your first map, a vital part of exploring any new area, and learn that benches are your safe haven where you can heal and organise your charms. You'll also encounter a variety of different enemies, each with their own movesets that require a unique strategy to face. Some run at you, others jump, and some have shields. While there are obvious upgrades you can make to your character, the true marker of your progress in Hollow Knight is your skill and mastery over the mechanics. An experienced player with no upgrades will be able to confidently take on any enemy without taking much damage, as they already know all their move patterns and attacks and can reflexively counter them. Movement is another important skill to develop, as there are many puzzles and secrets locked behind parkour challenges, the ultimate test of which comes near the end of the game with the infamous Path of Pain, which I recommend you stay well clear of if you value your sanity. At key moments throughout the game, you will find your path locked behind a boss fight. Some of these are a lot more challenging than others, and will take you a few attempts to beat. As like with anything in Hollow Knight, you'll need to learn the boss's strengths and weaknesses, when to attack, when to dodge, and when openings to focus and heal arise. As you progress, you'll learn more spells which require soul to use. The first of these you unlock being Vengeful Spirit, a powerful ranged attack that can cleave through a boss's health quicker than attacking them up front with your nail, and comes with a lot less risk of taking damage. But doing so usually means sacrificing an opportunity to heal, so players will have to consider which is the better use for their soul in a given situation. It's upon escaping the Forbidden Crossroads and opening up the second major area of the game that the world of Hallownest really opens up to you. For one, Green Path is one of the most pleasing areas, both through its art and soundtrack. I mean, just look at this. It's important by this stage to get to grips with Hollow Knight's death mechanic. Like the Souls series, death is a built-in part of the gameplay, and you're expected to die, a lot. But that doesn't mean it comes without consequences. Geo, your main currency, is dropped upon death, and in order to get back your hard-earned money, and more importantly, to get rid of the annoying cracks in your soul meter, you'll have to fight a shade of yourself. And to make things more interesting, this shade has all the movement and attack capabilities that you do, meaning the stronger your character is, the stronger your shade becomes. And as I mentioned before, you're going to have to fight this thing a lot. From this point onwards, the entire map opens up to you, and there's no linear path to follow. The whole world is yours to discover as you slowly uncover the lore and what your purpose is in this strange, somber and breathtaking world of Hallownest. It's here you'll unlock your first major movement upgrade, the dash, which really expands your options. You might want to continue exploring, but you may also realise that there were certain areas inaccessible to you in the crossroads that with the dash are now possible to explore. I won't spoil the other upgrades you'll find, as it really is a special moment when you find one and a whole new avenue of movement opens up to you. As for the world of Hellenost, there's so much more to explore that I don't have time to explain in this short video, but I do want to share my personal favourite area, the City of Tears. The atmosphere, the music, the pattering of raindrops against the rooftops, that's before you even get to the gameplay, with varied and challenging enemies that never truly feel unfair unlike certain other areas of the game. Looking at you, Deep Nest, I was already enjoying the game, but at this point I was hooked. I'll let you discover the other upgrades in the game for yourself, but I will tell you about charms, little trinkets found throughout the game that can be used to modify your playstyle. For facing difficult bosses you can go for a strength or a mana build depending on your preferred fighting style, and there's also the amazing combo of Hiveblood and Grub Soul, which is perfect for parkour challenges since you simply have to wait at the checkpoint for your health to recover. No, this will not make the Path of Pain any less painful. You can combine Lifeblood charms to get an absurd amount of health, or if you're too lazy to do the work yourself, you can get a familiar build and let your minions do the hard work for you. Of course, the most vital charm for new players is the Wayward Compass, which lets you know exactly where you are on the map. This is handy if you don't want to get lost every 5 seconds. Which, trust me, if you're a new player and you do not know the game at all, you are going to get lost a lot. Especially if you haven't unlocked the map for a new area yet. It's in the later half of the game, where all these options become available to you, that Hollow Knight really sinks its claws in, making it an all-time gaming experience for those who push through the early difficulty curve. If you're watching this and you haven't played Hollow Knight yet, I highly recommend you give it a go, and if you've played it already, you can join me and the rest of the Hollow Knight fandom in the long and painful wait for Silksong. 2025 guys, this year for sure. Oh.